My beautiful friend, before we begin, I want to ask you something. When was the last time you truly looked at yourself, not just in the mirror, but within, and said, I love you? Most people can go years, even decades, without doing that. We've been taught to chase love, to earn approval, to perform for acceptance, but rarely are we taught to give it to ourselves. Yet that is exactly where all true healing begins. Today, I want us to take a sacred pause. This is not just another lesson. This is an invitation. An invitation to love yourself now, not when you lose the weight, not when you get the job, not when life looks perfect, but now, exactly as you are. Because the truth is, you are already whole. You are already worthy. You are already loved. Take a deep breath with me. Place your hand over your heart and repeat softly, today I choose to love and accept myself exactly as I am. Feel those words. Don't just say them. Let them sink in. Let them become your truth. You see, love is not a reward you earn by doing everything right. Love is your natural state of being. When you were born, you didn't need permission to love yourself. You came into this world pure, radiant, open-hearted. Then, little by little, life happened. Criticism, comparison, rejection. You learned to shrink, to doubt, to hide. But the good news is that you can unlearn all of it. Let's talk about the power of self-acceptance, because this is where transformation begins. I often say self-acceptance is the bridge between who you were and who you are becoming. You cannot love a person you are still busy judging, and you cannot heal a body or a mind that you are constantly criticizing. Healing begins the moment you say, it's okay, I'm doing my best. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up on growth. It means loving yourself through the process. It means saying, even if I'm not where I want to be, I still deserve kindness. When you accept yourself, you stop fighting life, and life stops fighting you. Your energy shifts from resistance to allowance, from self-punishment to peace. Say it again, gently but clearly. I accept myself completely, here and now. Yes, feel how soft that is, how kind, how free. Because when you stop demanding perfection from yourself, you create space for your authentic self to breathe. Now, let's talk about what I call keeping your cup full, because you cannot pour from an empty one. So many of us try to give love, time, energy, patience to everyone else, but we forget to give it to ourselves. We think it's selfish to rest, to say no, to set boundaries, but in truth, it's sacred, it's essential. Your job is not to save the world while ignoring your own heart. Your job is to fill yourself so full of love that it naturally overflows. You give from the overflow, not from the exhaustion. Every morning, ask yourself, what do I need to feel loved and nourished today? The answer might surprise you. Sometimes it's something simple, drinking more water, taking a nap, turning off your phone, stepping outside for a few minutes of sunlight. Other times, it's deeper, letting go of guilt, forgiving yourself, choosing peace instead of people-pleasing. I want you to write down 3 things that make you feel full. Maybe it's listening to music, meditating, journaling, painting, or simply being still. Whatever fills your heart, make time for it every single day. Not once a week, not when you have time. Every day. Because every act of self-nourishment tells your inner self, I matter. And that's what self-love really is. It's not about ego, it's about energy. When your cup is full, your presence becomes healing to others. You don't have to try to help people. Your energy naturally uplifts them. You become a walking reminder that peace is possible. Now let's get personal for a moment. How long have you been criticizing yourself? How long have you told yourself you're not enough? Did it ever make you happier? Did it ever make you stronger? You've been criticizing yourself for years, and it hasn't worked. Try approving of yourself and see what happens. Imagine what would change if, instead of saying, I messed up again, you said, I'm learning. If, instead of saying, I'm not good enough, you said, I'm doing better every day. These small shifts in language are life-changing. Words are power. Every word you speak about yourself is a command to your subconscious mind. So speak to yourself with the tenderness you would offer a child. Speak to yourself with kindness, especially on the days when you feel you least deserve it. Those are the days you need it most. I want you to remember this truth. There is no part of you that is unworthy of love. Not the part that feels insecure, not the part that made mistakes, not the part that doubts. Love them all. Gather every version of yourself, the child, the teenager, the adult who tried and failed, and hold them close. Say to them, I see you, I forgive you, I love you. Because love heals what judgment never could. And as you begin to practice this, you will notice that your outer world starts to shift too. Your relationships soften, opportunities appear, your health improves. Why? Because the outer world is always a mirror of your inner dialogue. When you stop attacking yourself, life stops attacking you. When you start being gentle inside, life becomes gentle outside. Let's do a little exercise together. Close your eyes for a moment, take a deep breath, place your hand over your heart, and say, I am enough. I am worthy of love. I am safe to be myself. Feel how your body responds. Do you feel a sense of relief? A warmth spreading through your chest? That's your soul saying, thank you, I've been waiting for this. You see, love doesn't need conditions, it needs permission. Give yourself permission to love yourself now, not later, because later never comes. This is the moment. This is your turning point. And if you ever doubt, remember this. The way you speak to yourself becomes the way you experience life. So make your words kind, make them healing, make them sacred. Every morning, look into the mirror and smile. Even if it feels awkward at first, smile anyway. Look into your own eyes and say, I love you. I really love you. Don't rush it. Stay with it until you start to feel it. It may take days or weeks, but keep going. That mirror work changed my life, and it will change yours too. The more you practice loving yourself, the easier it becomes to forgive, to trust, to open your heart to others. Because when you accept yourself, you stop asking others to fill your void. You stop chasing love and you start attracting it. You become the source. So, my dear, before you go to sleep tonight, whisper this to yourself. Thank you, body, for carrying me. Thank you, heart, for beating for me. Thank you, mind, for learning with me. I am grateful. I am whole, and I am enough. And as you wake up tomorrow, let your first thought be, today I choose to love and accept myself exactly as I am. Because when you start each day with love, you invite healing into every cell of your being. You become aligned with life itself. And life, my love, always responds to love. My dear friend, let's sit together for a few quiet moments. Take a deep breath in. Let your shoulders drop. Feel your heart soften. You've already begun a journey back home to yourself, to self-love, to gentleness, to peace. Now, let's walk deeper. Today, we're going to talk about beliefs, those invisible ideas that quietly build the walls of your world. And if you truly listen, this may be the moment everything begins to change for you. You see, a belief is only a thought you keep thinking. That's all it is. It's not a fact. It's not a sentence carved into your destiny. It's simply a thought that has played in your mind for so long that you forgot you were the one who pressed play. We grow up hearing certain phrases from parents, from teachers, from culture, and we start to repeat them until they sound like truth. I'm not enough. I always mess things up. Good things never last. I can't trust people. I don't deserve love. And eventually, those words begin to build the structure of how we see ourselves and how we expect life to treat us. But the truth is, you can choose again. You can always choose again. Every moment of your life, you have the power to replace an old thought with a new one. I know, it may feel uncomfortable at first. Your mind will resist because it believes it's protecting you by holding on to the familiar. But the familiar is not always the truth. The familiar is simply what you practiced, and what you practice, you become. So, I invite you now to take out a piece of paper and write down some of those old limiting beliefs. Don't judge them, just observe. Bring them into the light. Maybe you'll write, I'm not good enough. I'm always alone. I don't have what it takes. I'm too old. I'm not worthy of love. It's okay. You're safe here. These words cannot harm you anymore. They are only echoes, and when you see them written down, you begin to realize that they are not you. They are thoughts you learn to repeat. Now, next to each old belief, write a new one. Write the thought you wish had been spoken to you when you were small, the one your soul longs to hear. Instead of, I'm not good enough, write, I am enough right now, just as I am. Instead of, I'm always alone, write, I am learning to love and be loved freely. Instead of, I never succeed, write, everything I experience teaches me and strengthens me. Instead of love hurts, write, love is safe, love is gentle, love begins within me. Do you feel that shift? Can you sense the energy changing inside you as you replace these thoughts? Because this is how transformation begins, one thought at a time. It doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't have to. You've believed the old stories for years, maybe even decades. So give yourself patience as you practice new ones. Each time you repeat a loving thought, you're planting a new seed in the soil of your subconscious. Keep watering it with kindness. Keep shining light on it with awareness. And one day, it will bloom into a new reality. I want you to say this with me, gently. I am willing to release old beliefs that no longer serve me. You don't have to know how it will happen. You don't have to force it. You only have to be willing. Willingness is enough. Willingness opens the door for grace to enter. Because the moment you say, I am willing, the universe says, then let me help you. Now, let's talk about another truth that will set your heart free. There are no mistakes, only redirections. Every so-called failure, every heartbreak, every disappointment was not the end, it was the turning of a page. It was life guiding you, sometimes gently, sometimes firmly, towards something better. Think about a time in your life when something didn't go as planned. Maybe you lost a job, or a relationship ended, or an opportunity slipped away. At that moment, it probably felt unbearable. You might have thought, why is this happening to me? But now, with time and distance, can you see how that event shaped you? How it led you to grow, to choose differently, to find yourself again? That is how the universe works. Life doesn't take things away to punish you. It redirects you when something no longer aligns with your growth. When one door closes, another one is already waiting, but you can't see it if you're still staring at the old one. So the next time something falls apart, don't panic, don't spiral into fear. Instead, place your hand on your heart and whisper, I trust that everything is unfolding for my highest good. When you say those words, you begin to relax your grip on control. You stop fighting the flow. You stop trying to make life fit your old expectations. And that's when the real magic begins. Because peace doesn't come from having everything go your way. Peace comes from trusting that even when it doesn't, you are still safe. Let me tell you something I've learned through many years of living and loving life is always on your side. Always. Even when it looks chaotic, even when it feels unfair, there is a larger pattern at work, guiding you toward wholeness. The people who left taught you independence. The jobs that ended made space for creativity. The moments that broke your heart opened you to compassion. Nothing was wasted, not one moment of it. When you can look back and bless even the painful chapters, you free yourself from bitterness. You move from being a victim of life to being a co-creator with it. You start to say, this too served me. This too brought me here. And here, this very moment, is where your power lives. So I want you to take another deep breath with me. Breathe in trust, breathe out fear, breathe in peace, breathe out resistance. Feel yourself relax and quietly affirm, I trust that everything is unfolding for my highest good. Say it again, a little slower this time. Let the words sink into your body, your bones, your heart. Because when you speak those words often enough, your nervous system begins to believe them. And when your nervous system believes you're safe, life starts reflecting that safety back to you. Remember, there is no such thing as too late. There is no such thing as off track. There is only learning, growing, evolving. Life moves in spirals, not straight lines. Sometimes you have to revisit old lessons to master them. Sometimes you have to let go of what's comfortable to receive what's divine. But through it all, you are held, you are guided, you are loved. So, the next time you feel lost, don't ask why me. Instead, ask, what is this teaching me? That question is the doorway to wisdom. Because when you seek the lesson, you dissolve the pain. When you understand that life is for you, not against you, you begin to live with a sense of calm that nothing can shake. Every so-called mistake you've made was simply a step on the path of becoming. Every detour, every delay, every heartbreak was a redirection toward your highest truth. You were never being punished, you were being shaped. You were being refined by experience, softened by compassion, strengthened by surrender. Now, take another breath, my friend. Feel gratitude for every twist and turn that brought you here. Whisper quietly, thank you, life, for leading me exactly where I need to be. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not lost. You are simply unfolding. You are learning to think new thoughts, to trust new directions, to release what no longer belongs to you. And every time you do, you create space for something more beautiful to enter. So as we close this part of our journey, hold this truth close to your heart. You are never stuck. You are simply being guided to a better version of yourself. Repeat this with me now, with love and conviction. I am willing to release old beliefs that no longer serve me. I trust that everything is unfolding for my highest good. Let those words become your anchor. Let them remind you, whenever doubt appears, that you are always supported by life. And when you trust the process, even the storm begins to feel like part of the dance. Your mind is healing, your heart is opening, your soul is remembering that it has never been separate from love. Everything you've been through has brought you to this very moment. And this moment, my dear, is the beginning of your freedom. My dear one, let's continue together, softly, gently. You've come so far already. You've begun releasing the old stories, forgiving the past, and learning to trust the process of life. Now, it's time to bring that trust into your daily rhythm, into the small, sacred acts that shape how you feel, how you think, and how you live. Because love isn't just a feeling, it's a daily practice. It's not something that happens once in a while, it's something you choose over and over again until it becomes who you are. I always say, small loving acts done daily change your entire vibration. You don't need to make big leaps. You don't need to fix your whole life overnight. The power lies in the small things, in the way you speak to yourself, in how you breathe, in how you give thanks. These are the gentle miracles that transform your world quietly from the inside out. Let's begin with the first act. Positive self-talk only. Your words are powerful. Every sentence you speak to yourself becomes an instruction to your subconscious mind. Your body listens, your emotions listen, The entire universe listens. So how you talk to yourself matters more than you can imagine. For too long, many of us have used words as weapons against ourselves. I'm so stupid. I always mess things up. I'll never get it right. But I want to remind you those words are not truth. They are habits. They are echoes of the voices you once heard from others, and you can choose to stop repeating them. From now on, I invite you to become your own best teacher, gentle, patient, kind. The next time you catch yourself being self-critical, pause, take a deep breath, and change your tone. Instead of, "I can't believe I did that," say, "It's okay. I'm learning. I'm doing my best." Instead of, "I'm so behind," say, "I'm moving at the perfect pace for me." Can you feel the difference? One creates tension. The other creates peace. One closes your heart. The other opens it. This is how you heal, not by demanding perfection, but by offering compassion. Speak to yourself the way you would to a child who's learning to walk. You wouldn't yell at them for falling. You would encourage them. "You're doing great. Keep going. You're getting stronger." That's how I want you to talk to yourself every single day. The second act of self-love is gratitude replaces old thoughts. Do you know how many thoughts pass through your mind each day? Around 60 to 70,000, and most of them, almost 80%, are repetitive. That means if you don't consciously choose new thoughts, your mind will play the same old record over and over again. But here's the beautiful truth. One word can shift that entire pattern. That word is thank you. Gratitude is one of the highest vibrations you can live in. Every time you say thank you, you're sending a message to life that says, "I see the good. I recognize the blessing." And life, in its infinite wisdom, responds by giving you more to be thankful for. When your mind begins to spiral into worry or self-doubt, stop and whisper, "Thank you. Thank you for this breath. Thank you for the strength that carries me. Thank you for the lessons I'm learning. Thank you for the chance to try again." Even the smallest things are worth thanking: the warmth of the sun, the taste of your morning tea, the laughter of someone you love. Gratitude turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. It doesn't deny the pain. It simply balances it with perspective. It reminds you that even in the middle of uncertainty, there is still beauty here, still goodness, still grace. Every time you replace a negative thought with gratitude, you rewire your brain. You train your mind to look for blessings instead of problems, and your life begins to reflect that new focus. So make it a habit. Before you go to bed, name 3 things you're grateful for. When you wake up, whisper thank you before you even open your eyes. Let gratitude be your first and last word of the day. And now, the third act of self-love: breathe consciously. Your breath is your connection to life. Every inhale is a gift, every exhale a release. Most people forget to breathe deeply. We rush, we tense, we hold. But when you breathe consciously, you tell your body, you are safe. You can relax now. And when your body relaxes, your mind follows. So right now, wherever you are, place one hand on your heart and one on your belly. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose. Feel your chest and stomach rise. Then exhale softly through your mouth. Let your shoulders drop. Again, inhale love, exhale tension. Inhale peace, exhale worry. Inhale safety, exhale control. Do this several times a day. It doesn't have to take long. Just a few mindful breaths can completely reset your nervous system. When you breathe deeply, your cells receive more oxygen. Your heart rate steadies. Your body enters what we call the healing state. You become present again, no longer lost in the past or the future, but grounded right here in this beautiful moment. I like to imagine that every inhale fills me with light, and every exhale releases everything that doesn't belong. Fear, doubt, guilt, regret. Try that. See how it feels. With every breath, remind yourself, I am loved, I am safe, I can relax now. When you practice these 3 small acts daily, kind words, gratitude, and conscious breathing, you begin to live in harmony with yourself. You raise your vibration, and life begins to meet you there. The chaos around you softens, your relationships shift, and even your health responds. Which brings us to our next truth, the connection between your mind, body, and soul. Because, my dear, they are not separate. They are one beautiful, intelligent system, always communicating. Your body hears everything your mind says. Every thought you think creates a chemical reaction, a vibration that moves through every cell of your being. When you say, I'm tired, your body listens. When you say, I can't handle this, your body tightens. When you say, I am safe, your body relaxes. When you say, I am healing, your body begins to repair. That's why speaking with love is not just emotional work, it's physical healing. The body doesn't only need food and rest, it also needs kind thoughts. It needs to feel appreciated. When you look in the mirror, don't just see the surface. Look deeper. Thank your eyes for allowing you to see. Thank your heart for beating faithfully. Thank your skin for protecting you. Every cell in your body is listening, responding, and rearranging itself according to the energy you send. If you've spent years criticizing your body, this may feel new, even uncomfortable. That's okay. Healing is simply learning a new way of relating to yourself. Start small. When you wake up, greet your body as an old friend. Good morning, beautiful body. Thank you for carrying me. When you eat, bless your food and say, may this nourish every part of me. When you rest, remind yourself, I am worthy of ease. These small acts are medicine. Because healing isn't about forcing the body to change, it's about creating the conditions where it can remember its natural state of balance. The more love you send, the faster it responds. The cells in your body are intelligent. They recognize your voice, and when your words become loving, your energy becomes healing. I want you to repeat this with me now, with full presence. Every cell in my body vibrates with peace and love. Say it slowly. Feel it. Let it become true as you say it. Every cell in my body vibrates with peace and love. That is not just a sentence. It is a command to your entire system to harmonize with well-being. And you know what's beautiful? The moment you speak those words, your cells begin to align. The chemistry of your body starts to shift. The frequency of your energy rises. You begin to glow from within. That's what happens when mind, body, and soul come into harmony. You become radiant, magnetic, peaceful. So, as you go through your day, remember these simple practices. Speak kindly, give thanks, breathe deeply, because these are not just small things. They are the foundation of your healing. They are acts of love, and love is the most powerful medicine of all. My dear, you are not broken. You are blooming. You are not behind. You are unfolding. You are not unworthy. You are love, learning to recognize itself again. So take one more deep breath, smile softly, and whisper, I am healing. I am whole. I am love in motion. And let that truth echo through every cell of your being until your whole body hums with peace. My dear, before we close, let's take a quiet moment to talk about one of the most powerful acts of love you can ever give yourself: forgiveness. True forgiveness is not about approving what happened or pretending it didn't hurt. It's about setting yourself free from the energy that keeps you bound to the past. When you forgive, you release the heavy chains of resentment, guilt, and shame that weigh down your heart. You make space for peace to return. Forgive yourself for the times you didn't know better. Forgive yourself for the moments you stayed too long, spoke too harshly, or held back your truth. You did the best you could with the understanding you had then, and now you know more. You can choose differently and forgive others, not because they were right, but because they too were learning, stumbling through their own pain, trying to find love the best way they knew how. So place your hand on your heart, close your eyes, and whisper, I forgive myself for all the times I forgot my worth. Let those words travel deep within you. Feel the energy of release, the lightness that follows letting go. Forgiveness is not weakness, it's the highest strength of the soul. And as we come to the end of this session, remember this truth. Loving yourself is not vanity, it's sanity. When you love yourself, you return to balance. When you accept yourself, you become free. When you are grateful for life, life multiplies its blessings upon you. So take one last deep breath, smile softly, and affirm, I love and accept myself now. Life loves me and supports me in every possible way. And if your heart agrees, share your declaration with the world. I love and accept myself completely. Let that love ripple outward and heal everything it touches.